Alright, what's going on guys, it's Liam here, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And in today's video, I want to talk about the summer update and the content within the summer update itself. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a follow-up I had on my video a couple of weeks ago, where I responded to Seifa's video, actually. And I'm kind of here to basically say, well, I think she's actually right. At the time, I kind of defended the game like, oh yeah, there's going to be stuff to do, but now that it's actually alive and there's not really anything to do, I think she was right. And myself becoming a more casual player because of the bad choices being made at the high levels of play, I simply am more interested in, the PvE content side of the game. But for this update, there's really nothing for PvE. Yes, there's a new raid. Yes, I enjoy the new raid, but raids are so inaccessible still, right? Like you need to have 12 adults on at the same time, the same day. You have to have coordinated strats and make sure everybody reads the doc. So basically, if you're not an elitist, it's just not realistic for you to do at all. And as for the rest of the update in terms of PvE content, what do you really have, right? You have maybe some more guild museum stuff. Okay, cool. I don't really care about that. Beast Moon stuff, again, don't really care about that. I can't do that whenever I want. There's a lot of good quality of life changes this update, and this feels more like a quality of life update than an actual game in-game content update to me. Like the school pips thing, I think nobody's complaining about that. I think everybody's happy with it. They fixed a lot of bugs in terms of questing and spells that were not working as intended. I suppose if you're a PvE player, there are now world elixirs up to Avalon that you can purchase, which is cool. But yeah, I'm just going through the patch notes here, and I don't see anything to do as a PvE player, and I guess there's rematches, I guess, which is probably their whole big selling point. But rematches to me are still just a waste of time. It's completely unreasonable to actually acquire the gear. It's just a pain in the ass to do as well. I guess some people like to do it for the content, I guess, itself, even though it's literally a rematch, and the badges, I guess. But personally, I don't really care to do all that. If I'm not getting a good reward out of something, I just cannot be bothered to actually try and do it. So for example, here we have the Skyfarer's band, or the Wastelander hat that you have to get, which is from the rematches. And that's good that there's an actual free-to-play way to get these things, but the content itself is so lame and the grind is so much. It's just not I still just don't want to do it. I still feel like I need to pay, which I think is incredibly stupid, And one thing I'm going to talk about, which is a positive in this video, is something they did right. The new spellements, the new gear, the key bosses. Aside from the key bosses being reused assets and, reforming bosses you've already done and all, I think they actually did a great job at striking the balance between player time, player investment, and reward to craft ratio, if that makes sense. Under 3 hours with a good group, I was able to get everything that's meta for all 7 schools within this new gold key farming, whatever, shadow gear template update thing. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. Basically, my point is if you grind, you can actually get this gear really, really fast. And I was thoroughly impressed by the amount of stuff I was able to actually craft by just farming it. The drops weren't amazing, but you do get drops, which is cool because some fights you aren't even guaranteed a drop. So I think a better way to build the system would be to simply copy and paste what they did with the Takunobo and the Lambent fight. I think that'd be really, really good. But even with a really good system with the Takunobo and the Lambent fights, people are still really upset that you're doing old boss fights and stuff that you've already done before. So for example, I can actually max tier my Goat Monk 3 times with the amount I've done Takunobo, essentially, which I think is really, really crazy. If there's a way I could convert those spellements into the new death spell, the new ice spell, whatever or whatnot, I think that'd be great. I think the devs are working on something like that. So what are you saying here, Liam? Basically, even if it's meta gear that's free to play, if it's boring content and an unreasonable grind, players aren't going to want to do it. And generally, whether it's a good system like we have with Takanobu and Lambent, players are still going to be a bit annoyed that it's just reused content, or I already have everything from this boss fight. So basically, that's the 3 forms of content you have. It's the new, updated old gold key bosses with Takanobu, Lambent, which is pretty good. Again, it's reasonable to do. The farming, the spells are cool. You have the rematches, which again are just stupid, boring, a waste of time, unreasonable, and you have the new raid, which is inaccessible to most players. And aside from those 3 main things, as a PvE player, you literally cannot do anything in this update. So I'm sitting here, I think it's like day 2 of the update, and I already got a lot of things, right? I already got all the meta stuff for 7 schools and all, and I'm just sitting here like, what is there for me to do in the game, and my membership actually just expired. I bought one so I could craft stuff in Waterloo last month, and I'm just sitting here like, okay, I mean, like, do I want to renew this membership? Probably not. It's gonna do nothing for me. There's nothing to do in the game. And as a PvP player, one positive thing I can say about this update, which I know is actually really controversial, which I find a little odd actually, is the fact that if you go to Jordo in the arena, you can actually get the 4th age commander gear that's updated with like insignia gear with the stars and the moon. Now, I actually really like this a lot. I already got the boots on 2 schools. The commander boots, at least for the guys, are just really good looking in general. So I'm definitely going to get a lot of these, and honestly, I'll probably do a lot of PvP to farm these outfits for my wizards. Even like the commander robe for both like, like men and girls or whatever, it just looks really good as well. And in terms of like the update, I guess if you will, this is probably what I'm going to spend my time doing, is doing PvP, farming tickets to try and get this gear, because it's actually, pretty cool, pretty unique, and if you don't do a lot of PvP, you're not going to get this gear. Another cool thing about this gear, I suppose, is the fact of the matter that like you don't have to be a warlord to get it. You just have to do a lot of PvP and get your tickets up. Now, granted, if you are a high rank, you do gain more tickets, so you will get it at a faster rate. One minor complaint I have about the new gear set is the fact that the max tickets, which is 6,000, is the same cost as just the robe. So basically, like, before this update, you couldn't stockpile tickets to like just make everything. Every PvP player now has to grind the game and get a total of what, 6k, 4k, and like 2k. But you have to grind all these tickets just to get it for one character. And it's a bit expensive. You could raise the ticket cap, I guess, right? You could have done that. But on the positive side of things, I do like that there is a reason for me to actually play PvP, because there hasn't really been reasons for the longest time, due to people like, boosting their rank, the meta being unplayable, stuff like Marco not getting updated like he used to be. You could put cool cosmetics back into PvP, which they did with the robe and the boots here, or, you can make pets or mounts as well, stat mounts even as well, right? There's so many ways you could give players more reasons to play PvP. And if you are somebody who is a PvE player but you don't PvP, I genuinely don't really know what to tell you guys. If you do rematches or the gold keys, chances are you probably already did that content in a way, right? So the only thing left for you essentially is the raid. So unless you want to like sell your soul to Wiz and get the perfect everything, and dedicate your time to a guild and Wiz, and read docs and stuff and research, you're kind of screwed this update as a casual PvE player. Luckily for me, I'm a PvP player, so I can just go for this new commander gear and all, and I guess it feels a bit better to play the game now that I can, have a goal in sight to get that gear and all. So yeah, that's what I think about the summer updates. You guys can let me know what you think in the comments below. I don't know. I don't really want to be a negative Nancy on the channel here, but like I feel like this update is kind of an L. It's more of a quality of life update and not actually like a content update, you know. And it's a little disappointing to wait this long between updates and just not really have anything to do as a PvE player. I could be wrong though, right? You guys can correct me in the comments below. You know, if you're a PvP player, PvE, raider, whatever, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching, and take care, y'all.